the inner world. Thus, to return to the position of modern Western psychology, it has long been clear to me that if one wishes to be a psychologist, then one must study people as they are, and not as one would have them be. We must take psychology on its own terms, as a subject with its own rules and procedures, which means listening to people and taking into account the things they say about themselves. It means making use of introspection and allowing people to reflect on and report their own experience. And it means showing a respect for this introspection and this reflection, instead of telling people that the experiences they have within their own minds are only the electrochemical workings of a biological machine located inside the skull. Ultimately, it means taking seriously this inner world in which we each live, and from which we look out upon the outer world, this inner world within which we interpret and make sense of life, and grapple with the fundamental "who am I?" question. Recognition of the need for such an approach to human psychology set me off on a search for methods and techniques for exploring this inner world, and ultimately brought me to the subject of meditation when, in the course of pursuing a lifelong interest in yoga, I came upon a reference in Desmond Dunn's book Yoga Made Easy, to the effect that through its practice one learns to be truly and fully conscious of himself as a unit, not merely in the highly personal, individualistic Western sense, which all too often leads to egocentricity and uneasy self-absorption, but in a serene, detached way that makes him immune to superficial influences. A practice that could do this, I reasoned, deserved a psychologist's attention. Anything that could help the individual to become serene and detached and immune to superficial influences seemed to me to bear comparison with even the best that our modern psychological techniques and therapies have to offer. The more one works within the field of human psychology, the more one realizes the extent and magnitude of human psychological suffering. Whether we have reached the stage of wanting to look more closely into our inner world, or are still firmly located in outer concerns, most of us are greatly in need of a serenity which can make us less vulnerable to the many problems that life puts in our path.